Somebody says, thank you for touching my life and taking the time to make the investment. And that's what I'm all about. So if you'll become a good student today, and here's the last note, don't be a follower, be a student. You'll be happy to know today we haven't come seeking disciples. We've got no movement for you to join. I'm just here to share some of my experiences, good ideas best I can. But I think that's good advice. Don't be a follower, be a student, right? Take advice but not orders. Take information, but don't let somebody, order your life. Make sure what you do is the product of your own conclusion. Excellent note to make. Make sure what you do is the product of your own conclusion. Not to do what someone else says. Take what someone else says. Process it. Think about it. Ponder it. If it makes you wonder, if it makes you think, then it's valuable. Then when you go take action, make sure that the action is not what somebody told you to do. Make sure the action is the product of your own conclusion. You'll follow just a little bit of those simple guidelines telling you the learning process can be speedy, swift, powerful. Your learning curve can go up, and then applying it to your business, your life, your family, conversations, equities of all kinds. You'll find some progress like I did that first 5 years when I met a teacher willing to share with me, turn my life around. Progress I couldn't believe happened for me. Okay, let's get started. I want to review. I was here last time and we talked about the 5 major pieces to the life puzzle. And I just want to review those because it lays such a good foundation for all the rest that I want to share with you today. We got a lot of subjects to cover, so we're going to go rather swiftly. Okay, put on your mental track shoes here and run with me today, because I'm going to deal mostly in concept. Expect you to, fill in a lot of the details, because I got a lot to share. I want to get through it all. But let's lay this foundation again of the 5 major pieces. Happens to be the title of my latest book, but I think it is so valuable in laying a foundation. It's some of the things I learned between ages 25 and 30. The teacher who taught me so well. He dealt in these fundamentals. We call these fundamentals. We call these basics. Basics for sports, fundamentals for sports, fundamentals for your business, fundamentals for the way you deal with your family. A few simple things, a few basic things that if you practice every day can make all the difference in the world, how it works out. I boiled it down to 5 major pieces to the life puzzle. Let's just review those. Number 1 is philosophy. Philosophy, as I taught the last time I was here, philosophy, in my personal opinion, is the major determining factor in how your life works out.
See, the people that will live their dreams, the 2% that will do that, these are, and write this down, become a risk taker. They're risk takers. They don't mind failing. They don't mind making mistakes. They're willing to take life on, take life in the collar. This, God said, if you're not willing to risk, you cannot grow. And if you cannot grow, you cannot become your best. And if you cannot become your best, you can't be happy. And if you can't be happy, then what else is there? I like what Helen Keller said. She said, life is short and unpredictable. Eat the dessert first. Here's something else. Write this down. Make it important to become financially independent. People say money won't make you happy, but everybody want to find out for themselves. A friend of mine named Rita Davenport said, money's not important, but it's right up there with oxygen. And let me tell you something, fellas, even if you're as homeless as I am, you got some money, some women will find something cute on you. Oh, he's got eyelashes like Tom Cruise. He's got to walk like Denzel Washington, I used to be so broke I'd walk past a bank and trip the alarm. Creditors would call a house and my children would answer the phone and say, my daddy say he's not home. Repeat after me, please. I'll never be broke again. Never, never, never. Yeah, see, ladies and gentlemen, it makes a difference. The only time I really appreciated having money was when my mother became ill. I was a state legislator in Columbus, Ohio from the 29th House District, Whitehall in the Upper Linden area. And my brother called me and said, Leslie, yes, Mama's been sick and we're going to put her in a nursing home. I said, wait a minute, Wesley, we can't do that. Get Margaret Ann on the phone. She's on the phone. Get Linda and Leonard. They're all here. Leslie, listen to me. Mama used to work in a nursing home. She said she never wanted to go into one. I promised her when I was 10 that I would take care of her. We would do whatever was necessary to take care of her. He said, we knew you would feel like that. And this is why we did such a thorough job interviewing the various nursing homes. And we have found the one that's ideal. And Mama would love them. I said, hold it, just a minute. She didn't clean their behinds. She took care of us. See, I had a problem. I couldn't understand how one woman, 3rd grade education, 46, domestic worker on Miami Beach, can raise 7 children who couldn't take care of themselves, but 7 children couldn't take care of one woman. I had a problem with that. I had a problem with that. So I resigned from the Ohio legislature and I went back to Miami to take care of Mama. And I'll never forget taking her to Jackson Memorial Hospital. And when we went in, the receptionist said, as she looked at my mother, looked at me, she didn't say, how you doing? Are you uncomfortable? Are you in any pain? My mother at that time, she was in her 70s. The lady just said, what kind of insurance do you have? And I stepped forward and I said, she has Les Brown Unlimited. Give my mother what she needs. I can write a check for her.
You've heard this before, but if you really began to think about what you think about on a regular basis, most of you are thinking about what you're worried about, you're afraid of, and what you're concerned or anxious about. And you don't take control of your thought. You don't take control about what you're putting in your mind. I'm a decent example of making that shift. I do take control of it. And what I do when I know I'm having ones that don't serve me, I go, I'm intentional about it. When you're intentional about something, it loses its power over you. Once you're aware you're doing something, it can't affect you like it can when you're not aware. So I'm a negative thinker. I love to worry. I have this habit. Now I'm going to be overly cheesy with you because it's all dudes in here, but you have an emotional home. You have a series of emotions you live with regularly, don't you? Regardless of what the F is going on in your life, you find a way to get these emotions. Those emotions could be bliss, ecstasy, passion, joy, peace, faith, but they could also be worry, stress, anger, depression, frustration, concern, anxiety, aren't they? And you have a home, and you've had it most of your life, and it started when you were a little boy or a little girl. And because you've done it over and over and over again, even though you know they don't serve you, you will find a way on a very regular basis to get those. The quality of your emotion is going to be the quality of your life. And if you don't begin to become more intentional about the emotion, see, all of you this year wrote down a bunch of things you want to achieve. So did I. My outcomes for the year. I'm going to make this much money. I'm going to save this much money. We're going to help that many people. I've got a list of all my outcomes. You and I have gotten pretty good at achieving things we put our mind to, haven't we? You're getting pretty good at it. Maybe not last year, but some of you I've been talking to here told me you had your best year. But you're damn good at getting what you want, aren't you? Including the negative thing. You're damn good at getting that stress. Man, you will find a damn to get that amount. Now, since you're so good at getting what you want, what if you set, and I'm serious, what if you set an outcome to begin to achieve certain emotion on a regular? What you've done is you've deluded yourself into thinking, if I can get $5 million in the bank, $10 million in the bank, or I get one of these houses Mylett had, or I get that hot so-and-so girl, or I get to this level of influence, then I'll have those emotions up. That ain't how it works. Your subconscious and unconscious mind has done this millions of times. It's a map, and you will find a way. Trust me. I was worth $30, $40, $50 million. Still really not very happy person. I was worth $100 million. Still not very happy. Married the girl of my dream. Built my first mansion. Built another mansion. Still not very happy because I didn't get outcomes for emotions. I got outcomes for stuff. I want you to have a bunch of stuff. Trust me. I want you to have a bunch of achievement. But if you start to become more intentional, I'm going to find some peace every day. I'm going to find some faith every day. I'm going to find some solitude every day. You'll find that when you get those emotions, as good as you are, is you'll get more of stuff. People are like, what happened to you? I went from 50 million to probably $500 million 5 or 8 years. And the difference was, don't quote me on that, the difference was I started to get the quality of life I'm quality. And you got to get those, brother. You're going to lead your family. You're going to lead your mom and dad. You're going to lead your life because you're not getting out of here alive. You ain't getting out of here alive. Why don't you start to be a little happier, a little bit more joyous, a little bit more giving, man? You'd be so happy you did. The fact is the strongest men are the ones who are willing to be the most vulnerable, are the ones who are willing to give joy, give passion, give peace to people. Those are the strongest men in the world.
Faith is the substance of things that you hope for. You just hope something, Joe. Then what happened is through grace and favor, he give you a couple of them things you hope for, and then you're supposed to start believing then, because now it turns into faith. But if you take this script, faith is the substance of things hoped and the evidence of things not seen. What is the evidence of things not seen? I just told Albert Einstein said, imagination, it's the preview to life's coming track. But guess what? Your imagination really, it's the evidence thing not seen. Because your imagination, you know why it's the evidence of things not seen? Because you're the only one can see. Your imagination is actually God showing you a preview of a coming attraction that he has for you. The moment you don't believe in your imagination, you negate what he got. Your imagination is the preview to life's coming attraction. It is the evidence of things not seen, because can't nobody see it with you. Your problem is you keep telling your imagination to the wrong people. See, if you want to kill a big dream, tell it to a small-minded person. It's dead. How many times, man, have you had a tremendous idea, something you thought was the one, when told to your loved one and your so-called, and they shot it? I mean, you was convinced that it was just, oh man, I just came to you. And you told it to them and they shot it down. And you thought since they was your loved ones and they friends and they got your best interests at heart, you believed you was wrong. You let them talk you out of what God got. Some of y'all still sitting here with the ambition of opening a business one day, but you scared to go start the business because you got a job and you got bills. Rich people people got bills. Everybody got bills. Hell, I got bills. Everybody owes somebody something. I got something with the bank right now. You're going to let the fact that you got some bills stop you from opening the business, the thing that God done put in your imagination. So you're going to squash that because you got bills. Everybody got your real life in your
Because when you start accomplishing and the value starts to return from that one action, it'll inspire you to do the next one and the next one and the next one. You start walking around the block, it'll inspire you to get an apple. Get an apple, it'll inspire you to get a book. Get a book, it'll inspire you to get a journal. Get a journal, it'll inspire you to grow, develop some skills. All disciplines affect each other. Every lack affects the rest. Every new affects the rest. The key is to diminish the lack and set up the new. And you've started a whole new life process. Also, one more thought on discipline. Here's the greatest value of discipline. Self-worth. Self-esteem. People are teaching self-esteem these days, but they don't connect it to disciplines. The least lack of discipline, and it starts to erode our psyche. One of the greatest temptations is to just ease up a little bit. The slightest lack of doing your best starts to erode the psyche. Instead of doing your best, doing just a little less than your best. Sure enough, you say, well, it's just going to affect my sales. No, it's going to affect your consciousness. It's going to affect your philosophy. Now you've begun in the slightest way to affect your own philosophy. Here's the problem with the least neglect. Neglect starts as an infection. And if you don't take care of it, it becomes a disease. And one neglect leads to another. And the worst of all, when neglect starts, it diminishes our self-worth, our self-confidence, our self-value. You say, well, how can I get back my self-respect? I'm telling you, you don't have to go to 29 classes. All you have to do is start the smallest discipline that now corresponds to your own philosophy, like I should, and I could, and I will. No longer will I let neglect stack up on me so that I will have the sorry scenario 6 years from now, giving some excuse instead of celebrating my progress. That's the key to discipline. Let's get kids involved in the least of disciplines. One more, and then one more, and then another one, and then another one, and then some more. And the first thing you know, you're starting to weave the tapestry of a disciplined life into which you can pour more wisdom and more attitude and more strong feeling, more faith and more courage. Now you've got something, a vessel in which to put it. And now the equities start to flow. And the early return, I'm telling you, if you'll start this process, the early return will have you so excited. You'll commit yourself to this strategy for the rest of your life. You'll never go back to the old ways. Join a new crowd. Join a new group. The disciplines to do it. Take action. I recommended the last time I was here the little book, Richest Man in Babylon, and I said I've lectured now to over 3 million people in the last 33 years, and I've recommended this little book to almost all of them, I think. Guess how many have actually gone and got this little book? Answer, very few. My best guess is 10%. Such an easy thing to do. In that last seminar, right, I suggested this little book, number one, is easy to find. Number two, it's easy to buy. The most you can pay for it, $6, $7, $8. You can borrow that from your kids. And number three, it's easy to read. It's in story form. That's why I use it for teenagers, teaching them how to be rich by 40, 35 if you're extra bright, much sooner if you find a unique opportunity. But if it's easy to find and easy to buy, and if it's easy to read, why wouldn't everybody go get it? We don't know. What do you know? You don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. Here's how profound it is. Some do and some don't. Now here's the numbers. About 10% do. 90% don't or won't. We don't know the mystery of that. And I'm telling you, 10 years from now, those numbers will still be the same. 10% will, 90% won't. The numbers don't change. Only the faces change. You're looking at one of the faces. I used to belong to the 90% who couldn't be bothered even if it was easy. Guess how many people have a library card? Wisdom of the world available. Transform your life in any value amount you want. By the way, how much is a library card in Texas? Free. Here's what free is. Easy. I mean, it can't be any easier than free. Somebody says, well, would you bring it by? Well, no. At least you got to go get it. No. Wisdom of the world available. Transform your life spiritually, socially, personally, economically, and every other way. Teach you how to be rich and powerful and sophisticated and healthy, influential. How many people have a library card? Answer, 3%. 95, 97% couldn't be bothered.
Let us say together, it's possible. I can live my dreams. I will work on myself. I will retrain my thinking every day. I would read 10 to 15 pages of something positive every day. I will turn off my television and turn on my life. Let us say together, it's necessary to detoxify your life. Look at the people in your life and ask the question, what is this relationship doing to me? There are some people you need to let go. Let us say together, let go or be dragged. They're emotional vampires. They will drain you. Bless, can I change them? No. It's a full-time job changing yourself. There's some people that's so negative, they can walk into a dark room and begin to develop. When you're talking about earning more money, you got to be serious. People say money won't make you happy, but everybody want to find out for themselves. Here's something else. Write this down. You're going to fail your way to success. There are people who should be there to encourage you. They're going to be the #1 members of the discouragement club. You have a dream, think it not strange that you'll face the fiery furnaces of this world. You will have tribulations. And don't complain. Don't go around telling everybody. 80% don't care. 20% glad it's you. Suck it up. and make it happen. Everybody, let us say together, leap and grow your wings on the way down.
Believe it or not, every successful person has jumped. You cannot just exist in this life. You have got to try to live. But to get to that life, you're going to have to jump. See, God, when he created all of us, he gave every last one of us a gift at birth. You just got to quit looking at gifts as running, jumping, sing, and dance. When you're standing on the cliff of life and you see people soaring by, you hear about them doing wonderful things. Maybe you look up the street and your neighbor just gets a car every year, every 2 years. Have you ever thought, maybe this person right here has identified their gift and is living in their gift? But the only way for you to soar is you got to jump. You got to take that gift that's packed away on your back. That gift opens up and provides the soar. If you don't ever use it, you're going to just go to work. That ain't living, man. You just existed. But the only way to see what living like, you got to jump. I'm gonna just be real with you. When you first jump, the parachute will not open right away. You're going to hit them rocks.
You're going to make it worth every single moment that you use. Because here, I want you to imagine that you have a bank account, and every day, $86,400 is put into it. And at the end of the day, the account refreshes and all the money is gone. Now tell me, what would you do? You're going to take out every dollar, you're going to spend it while you can. You're going to use it all up, and don't leave anything in there at the end of the day. Well, guess what? We get 86,400 seconds every day. So I want you to do the exact same thing. Use the time. So at the end of the day, you don't feel like you've wasted a second. Spend that money. Stop wasting your life and take this opportunity to improve your life and make some progress. Go get after it.
The story is not over until you win. You write the direction for your life. You are the author. So why are you waiting for someone else to write it for you? Why are you waiting for something to happen, something to change when you haven't written any words? Stop letting other people direct the path you want to be on. Remember who lives your life. You. You and only you. So make the decisions that define your life, the decisions that make you successful. The story is never over until you decide to put down the pen. You can win. You are winning. This power has no value. Keep writing. Don't stop designing, constructing, and upgrading your future, your legacy. This is your superpower. Belief. Because what you set as your goal is the belief to move forward. Stop murdering your legacy and your future. It's not worth the time. It's not worth the effort. Your journey begins now. So are you willing to write? Are you willing to become something? Bring the power, become the power, and succeed.
It's not your destiny. Most people never discover their greatness. Go to their graves living a life of mediocrity, living a life far below their potential. Oliver Wendell Holmes said most men and women go to their graves with their music still in them. A friend of mine was eulogizing his brother in Chicago, and I attended the funeral. Powerful speaker. He gives a presentation called How to Start Over Again, How to Make It From Scratch. Dwight had lost his life for years to drugs and crack cocaine, lost everything, and he came back again. Comeback power going around the world, changing people's lives. And he was eulogizing his brother, and he said, my brother was in the room in California. They told me he died by himself. And he said, and I submit to you that my brother didn't die by himself. A lot of dreams, a lot of potential. My brother had a lot of good ideas. And my brother was one of those guys that said, one day I'm gonna, and everybody started laughing. Because everybody knew his brother was talking about various things all the time. One day I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and one day I'm gonna do. He had a lot of good ideas that he never acted on. And when he died, when he took his last breath, all those ideas went down in the grave with him. Henry David Thoreau, come forward. What are your words? He said, oh God, to reach the point of death only to realize that you've never lived, that you've never scraped the surface of your potential.
If I went down this road right here and I said, what kind of car you want? They each round went along. And then at the end of it, I handed each one the key to what they asked for. Suppose one of them said a new Jetta, I gave them the key. Suppose one of them said a new Lexus, I gave them the key. Suppose one of them said a new Mercedes, I gave them the key. Suppose one of them said a new Rolls Royce, and I gave them the key. Now they would all be happy with their car until they thought about it. Because them other three that didn't ask for the Rolls Royce could have said, because even if you don't keep the Rolls Royce, if you sell it, that's $400,000 US. I don't know what that is over here. That's like $789 billion.
You're not anointed to be someone else. The anointing on your life, the favor, the blessing is to be you. You won't activate the favor. You won't see the abundance if you're trying to be something that you're not. Feeling wrong on the inside because you're not like someone else. I stepped up to minister. I wasn't like my father. I'm more calm, more laid back. What I thought was a weakness was actually a strength. People started watching and attending in record numbers. Half the people watch, they say they've never been to church, never listened to a minister on television. I wonder if you're fighting what makes you unique. Are you frustrated over what you think is a weakness when in fact it's a strength? Quit wishing you were something different and step into who God made you to be. He didn't accidentally give you the wrong personality, make you too quiet, too outgoing, the wrong gifts. He matched you with your world. You have exactly what you need to fulfill your destiny. I have a friend that has a very strong personality. He's very kind, very talented, but he's type A. Straight to the point, aggressive, get it done. One day he and his wife were having a disagreement. They were debating something. She finally said, why can't you be more like Joel? He said, excuse me, I think I'm supposed to be like Jesus. She said, that's fine, but why don't you start with Joel? We can always grow and improve, but you can't fight who God made you to be. Don't go your whole life wishing you were something different, wishing you had a better personality, wishing you were more talented, wishing you were like your neighbor, when in fact you're exactly who you're supposed to be. What you don't realize is half the time your neighbor is wishing they could be you. They see all the good things about you. Do you? What would happen if you would start loving yourself, accepting your gifts, not beating yourself up for mistakes, not down on yourself because of weaknesses? Stay positive towards yourself. Most of us wouldn't criticize other people. You wouldn't go up to that person sitting next to you, say, you sure don't look good today. Those clothes don't do anything for you. You may think it, but you wouldn't say it. Why are you criticizing yourself? When you criticize you, you are criticizing God's creation. You might as well look up and say, God, you didn't do a very good job on me. He doesn't make mistakes. Don't say another negative thing about yourself. I'm so undisciplined. I can't do anything right. I don't have a good personality. I'll never lose this weight. Never break the addiction. Zip that up. Quit being against yourself. You don't need another enemy. Be as good to yourself as you are to others. Be kind to yourself. Be merciful to yourself. Be loving to yourself. When you wake up in the morning, look in that mirror, instead of saying, oh man, I'm getting so old. Look at all these wrinkles. It's all downhill from here. Try a different approach. Good morning, you good-looking thing. I'm made in the image of God. I'm a masterpiece. I have royal blood flowing through my veins.
Let me explain this part about investors. We have one of our investors, a $5 billion fund from New York, Atalaya Fund, okay? Oscar De La Hoya is another one. Gabriel Brenner is another one, okay? Here's how investors look at you. They first look at you, they say, wow, he's so impressive. Then they give you money based on this. They don't give you money based on your personality. They give you money once they see this. So all the A-type personality, the excited, big, machismo, all those guys, if you don't pay attention to this, forget about valuation. You may look good because you made a few sales, you're not building value, okay? Operations is is constantly figuring out, like you make a list. You make lists and say this job, this job, this job, this job. I'm doing 7 different things right now. Why am I doing these 7 different things? I need somebody that helps me with this. I need somebody who helps me with this. That's operations. Biz dev. What's biz dev? Okay. Relationships. So strategic partnership. Finding somebody that if I help you, you win here and I win here. You give me clients, I give you clients. We cross-pollinate, everybody wins. Strategic partnerships, biz dev. That means you got to shake hands. So do you make a list and say, who would benefit from what I'm doing right now? Who can I help that I also need their help? This is the part where you got to go out there and shake hands. Whatever industry you're in, there's annual conferences. There's annual conventions. Whatever industry you're part of, you got to go to them. You got to go to them and get ready. Shake hands. Shake hands. We have our own. And by the way, the insurance industry, just so you know, you name me one product in the world more boring than life insurance. Let me say this one more time to you. I'm in the industry. You name me one product more boring than life insurance. Hear me out, guys. What I do for a living is we talk about dying every day. Listen, we come to you, and the moment the word life insurance comes up, what do people do? A guy came up here with a camera in my face. He says, hey, Pat, what do you think about the PNC and insurance future in the industry? What do you think is going to happen to PNC and insurance? I said, it's a big difference. He said, no, it's not. It's insurance. I said, no, believe me, it's a big difference. Why is it a big difference? He was at this event like 6 hours ago. He says, what's the big difference? I said, it's a law to buy auto insurance. It's not a law to buy life insurance. It's a choice. And life insurance always has to be what? Sold. I have to come sell it to you. No one wakes up and says, babe, I feel so good about buying some life insurance today, babe. Let's go get some life insurance today. Oh my gosh, no one does that. So I have to find a way to get to you, right? So we go to these conferences and we shake hands and we build relationships and we see new products, new things coming out, new relationships. And some of the people you shake hands with, then you build business, build relationships. By the way, this is all manual. For instance, if I work for you, I was talking to this gentleman right here. He's based out of New York, I believe, right? You're based out of New York. Him and I are talking outside. Great questions he's asking me at Wolfgang Puck. By the way, one thing about Sil and Albert, I gotta tell you guys, like this is an absolute world-class event from the moment I came here to now. Everything about their treatment, give them another round of applause for a phenomenal job these guys have done. Seriously, unbelievable. So he comes up to me. We start talking. What do you do? I got 50 salespeople. Is it this company? No, but I know about that company. And we're going to kill that company. Awesome. So do you have a manual? What kind of manual? Is there a manual that if I come and work for you, you can give to Albert, that Albert can teach me the process, sales flow of selling a product in your company? No. Are there scripts that I know for a fact you can pass it over to me? Yes, no. All of that stuff is down here. It's good, but it's not exponential. Here's exponential, okay? This is the part of the business that gets your business to suddenly grow. So exponential growth, one of them to the left is next innovative campaign. What's the next innovative campaign? Next innovative campaign is, who remembers when Mitsubishi first came out with the next innovative campaign? They said 0% down, 0 down, and we pay for your gas for 12 months. Who remembers that? Anybody remembers that? Gas for 12 months. You know what I said? Here's what I said. Brilliant. Because everybody on TV was talking about gas prices are $5. And people are like, oh my gosh, babe, they're going to pay for our gas for 12 months. Let's go buy Mitsubishi. It's not, it's like all they're doing is giving you a $2,500, what do you call it? What do you call that stuff? A rebate. It's not a big deal. But what a great next innovative campaign. Hey, right now, if you become a Prime member of Amazon, we're going to give you extra stuff. Oh my gosh, they're giving this away. They're not giving it away. Believe me, no one gives anything away for free. They're going to make their money. So you in this part, this right here, guys, this, like I talk about 4 things I say. You got to outwork, you got to out-improve, you got to out-strategize, outlast. One more time. Outwork is what? Hard working, right? How many Latinos do we have in the room here? Any Latinos here? Okay. Hey, can we all say that Latinos are some of the hardest working nationalities in America or the world? Yes or no? How come not a lot of them are millionaires? Because they just know how to work. I don't know many lazy Latinos, but they're hard working.
I will celebrate each goal I accomplish with gratitude and joy. I choose to think positively. I choose to think positively and create a wonderful world and successful life for myself. I am grateful that my life is so happy and successful. I can never fail, for everything that happens contributes to me being better. I'm extremely passionate about constantly being better and more successful. I have the courage to create positive change in my life. I acknowledge my own self-worth. My confidence is rising. Every day I will become more confident, powerful, and successful. Feeling confident, assured, and strong is a normal part of my day-to-day life. I am self-reliant, creative, and persistent in whatever I do. I am valuable and will make powerful contributions to the world today. I made decisions based on the superstar I am becoming. I continuously push myself to learn and develop in areas of life that bring me happiness, freedom, and purpose. I am the difference that will make the difference. I wake up every morning ready for a new day of exciting possibilities. I am happy and free because I am me. I am strong. I am a strong individual who attracts success and happiness. My life is a blast of growing opportunities because I never stop creating. I am energetic and enthusiastic. Confidence is my second nature. I teach others to believe in me because I believe in myself. My actions are intentional and they bring me closer to my goals. I am learning to trust the journey. My mind is clear of self-doubt. I am ready to embrace every challenge that comes my way. I surround myself with people who push me to be my best. I have great ideas and make great contributions. Every challenge I face is an opportunity to grow and improve. I am the architect of my life. I build its foundation and choose its contents. My ability to conquer my challenges is limitless. My potential to succeed is infinite. Today, I abandon my old habits and take up new, positive ones. I am excited about the possibilities that exist for me. I am able to think greater than I feel. I am the difference that will make the difference. I create success with everything I do. My impact starts with myself. My future is unwritten, and I have the power to change. I let go of the thoughts that do not serve me. I choose to be the difference that will make the difference in my life. Today, I choose to direct my thoughts. I am inspired, and I breathe life into my goals, my dreams, and my ambitions. Today, I am committed to my purpose. I act on my inspiration. I take the action necessary regardless of how I feel. A great life, it doesn't happen by chance. It happens by design. I am responsible for making smart decisions to drive success in my personal and professional life. I am blessed to have everything in my life to make it successful. I believe in myself and my abilities. I am the architect of my fate. I can achieve what I've dreamt for myself. The whole world is full of opportunities for me to succeed and impact. I am full of vitality. My confidence, positive attitude, and self-belief are my biggest assets to take me a step closer to my success. I'm not afraid of failures. I learn from my mistakes and turn failures into favorable results.
The economy is going to change no matter what you want it to do. The weather is going to change. Relationships are going to change. Everything in life is always changing. We don't have to work on change. Change is automatic, but progress is not. So if you want to make real progress, then you really got to look at your life in a different way. You got to say, I got to take control of this process and not just hope it's going to work out like people do who make a resolution.
You have to own your own happiness. Take it away from other people demanding that they make you happy. Your kids are not going to make you happy. Your spouse is not going to make you happy. A big house is not going to make you happy. Own your own happiness and be responsible for doing those things that bring joy into your own heart, independently of life and people and money and all of that stuff. Right. It doesn't necessarily give you happiness. You have to take responsibility of that peace and that joy that lives inside of your heart and not inside of your stuff.
It's a hunt. It's a pursuit. It's a constant thing. It's going on all the time. And when you're in the middle of it, in motion, that's when you feel your best. But the discomfort of that motion makes people so uneasy that they feel like, well, I'm going to go through this discomfort and then I'm going to get to a place of stillness where it's all going to make sense. Finally, I made it. I'm here to tell you that fucking place doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It's not a real place. It's a place that people look to as an inspirational goal, a destination, and that's going to be the thing that you work hard for. You're gonna push until you get to this place, and then it's all going to be worth it. That place is not real. If you have $1 million, you want $1 billion. If you have a big house, you want a bigger house. You have to find out what actually makes you happy, and it's not having all your ducks in a row on paper. It's improvement. It's improvement in the way you manage your mind. It's improvement in the way you manage your emotions.
Don't worry about what needs to be done. Think about who you have to be in order to get it done. And you do this by focusing on all the things that you're grateful for. Focus on what's working in your life rather than fixating on what isn't working. Maybe you're grateful for the person that's lying next to you. Maybe you're thinking of your children. Maybe it's a dog lying on the side of your bed. Maybe you're listening to the birds outside your window. It's the wonderful house you live in. Maybe it's the wonderful organization that you belong to. It doesn't matter what it is. You just feel it with your heart and soul. You build from there and you keep going. Why do I want you to do this? Because gratitude is the most powerful connection you have to your higher self. You always want to start your day connected to this higher self. And when you do, life becomes easier. You don't take things personally. When you're confronted with a challenge, you just look at it for what it's worth. It's a challenge. Everybody's confronted with challenges. And you know that there's something within you that can meet it and overcome it and move forward as a result of it. Tell yourself you're going to enjoy the day. Say it to yourself, you know what, I'm going to enjoy the day. This is going to be a good day. Visualize how you want your life to go. Visualize yourself having fun with your fellow workers, the people you're working for, who are working for you. Doesn't matter. Just visualize yourself achieving the goal. And always find the laughter within you and around you every day of your life. And that should start in the morning before you leave the house. There's humor all around you. We get so caught up in our thought process on what needs to be done, we let all the funny stuff in our lives just pass us by. Another thing that can put you in a great mood every day, do something nice for somebody. Do something nice for somebody. There's nothing that can bounce you back to enjoy the day than that. All these things that I am telling you is giving you a different thought process, a different focus to look at life from a different perspective. Our lives move in the direction of our most dominant thoughts and what we focus on day in and day out. Not only do our lives move in the direction of what we focus on and what we think about, but those very things that we're thinking about and focusing on are moving closer to us. In other words, people, the more you focus on your lack, the more of that you're going to get back. Because people, when you start laughing at a negative, intense, stressful, overwhelming situation like that, your brain is no longer focusing on that negative situation. Your brain could only focus on one thing at a time. Right now, your brain is laughing at something ridiculous that you just did. And even if your brain did go back to that negative situation, which it will do eventually, but guess what? It won't be as overwhelming as it was before because you've calmed your nervous system down to the point where you can control the situation instead of having that situation control you. How to acquire the attitude that you need to succeed on all levels of life while enjoying the process. There within lies the key phrase, my friends, while enjoying the process, because it seems to be something that most of us leave by the wayside. Especially when we're setting out to achieve our goals and we want to accomplish something, we get so caught up that enjoying ourselves becomes secondary.